How you going, guys, girls, whatever. So back out here again. I've zapped the few holes up that were in here, and getting ready to. Oh well, I'm in the process of making this bottom skin, and we've got it here. So I'm just gently bending these edges over. I'm actually using this. Now this is just a piece of rod that's got a 10mm slot in it, which is about 3/8, and that one there's a bit deeper depending on what I needed. I made this up ages ago for just bending little bits and pieces and bending lips over and stuff like that. It's quite handy because you can just nick along and just bend a little bit at a time and gently get it right. So basically what I did is I bent that edge and sort of sat it on the door and made sure that everything was lining up properly. Once I sort of bent that edge and sort of bent this edge and made sure everything was clearing properly, then I marked where the edge of this was, just to make sure I was in the right spot on the inner and the outer, and my lines were originally drew off this original piece here are pretty much spot on at the moment, so everything's looking good. So I'll keep gently bending that over, and then I'll give this a clean up with some wax and grease remover and whatever, and then I'll spray a coat of weld through primer on it. It's no critical in here, but where I'm welding it's going to be reasonably critical, but at least I can still get back inside there to blow a bit of stuff on it. But it's mainly the ends that you can't get back into, and where this is going to be covered over when you bend it over and all that sort of stuff. You want some reasonable protection there. And I'll blow some primer in here, and all the weld through primer in here as well, before I do put the skin on and start welding, which I might do now. Let that cure off, give me time. I'm not sure if I can get this all on today because it's reasonably late in the day. I've just had a real mucky day chasing stuff around and trying to get organised, and then I was outside trying to do it earlier on, then it rained, so I had to move everything, and I've got no room in here with the doors closed down, so I ended up setting it up on the boot, or the trunk, to get it sorted. This is about the only other place I'd really sort of a reasonable area that I could set the door on, so it sort of shows how big the bootlet is. You can fit a full door on it. But anyway, so yeah, I'll try and get this all on and hopefully tack welded in a half a dozen or a dozen places tonight, and get all these edges bent over and make sure everything is fitting properly before I fully weld it. So yeah, I'll keep going and see if I can get this on and see if I can get it all, maybe all dollied over. We'll see how we go, but probably what I'll do is I'll tack weld it all. I'll tack weld it in like 6 or 7 spots or whatever, before I do fully bend it all over and get it all pulled up nice and tight. So anyway, we'll carry on and we'll get going. Cheers. Alrighty guys, so we've got the skin on, it's tacked on, and I don't know, quite a few places across the top, probably every, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 inches. I've got a fairly good tack on it, not all the way, but most of it's like every sort of couple of inches anyway. And I'm just in the midst of hammering this all over. It's going to be pretty reasonable. I've got it reasonably straight. I don't think it's too bad for the first time for actually making a full bottom. I've done a few repairs and corners and stuff before, but I've never made a full bottom skin and tried to bend it all over and get it fitting decent and all that sort of stuff. So I'm pretty wrapped with my first attempt. Got to, obviously got a bit more work to do here to get it down flattened and then get it all straight. So I'm pretty wrapped with that. Like, I think by the time I'm finished and cleaned it up and smooth all this out and put like a little light skimmer filler in here and just blend that all in and make it look factory, really, I don't think many people would know that it wasn't still original, within reason, if you know what I mean. Like, first glances will be pretty hard to tell. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I've got to do a little bit of filing here in the corner. I bought myself a file before, because that's the way to put there's a wee bump stop that goes in this corner. So I've got to finish filing that out and sort of square that up. But yeah, apart from fully hammering that down and then welding across the back, she's pretty close to done. So anyway, I'll carry on, keep pissing the neighbours off for a while, and yeah, I'll show you when I'm finished, I suppose. Or you might see that next weekend. Alrighty, cheers.